Hello team, welcome to another ATP Geopolitics video with myself, Jonathan MS Pearce. This is a Ukraine war breaking news update, I guess. Just something that's happened recently in an early morning operation, I believe, last night, well this morning. Or at least the footage has just been released, so who knows when. But I presume this morning, the Ukrainian military intelligence operatives have destroyed key infrastructure at the Tver railway junction, according to RBC-Ukraine. In a daring early morning operation, explosives were planted beneath tanker cars and remotely detonated, severely disrupting rail logistics deep within occupied territory. Now, what's significant about this is that Tver Oblast is a long way from Ukraine, potentially 1,000 kilometers, depending on where exactly this rail junction is. Now, if you've got operatives doing something like that, one has to ask, how? So Ukraine's military intelligence strikes Russian rail logistics. A powerful blast hit the key Tver station. An explosive device went off under the fuel tankers, and within seconds, flames engulfed almost the entire railway station there. According to RBC Ukraine sources, the attack happened around 5 o'clock, so 5 o'clock this morning. Now the occupiers will have to patch up the holes here as well. Truly an island of bad luck. Well, I just think that there's a number of times where suggestions have been that you've got operatives operating very, very deep into Russia. Yeah, we've got people willing to set fire to railway boxes, relay boxes and whatnot. Now, all you need is a can of gasoline, although that's actually maybe harder to come by these days in Russia than we might previously have thought. But yeah, so you get a match and a bunch of gasoline. Okay, you don't need much preparation for that. But if you're talking about explosives under these kind of carriages in a railway station 1,000 kilometers into Russia, that's something else entirely. I mean, that's a proper behind enemy lines, sabotage operation. Is that going to be carried out, something that's going to be carried out by Ukrainians, getting all that way behind enemy lines, into Russia? Or is that going to be something carried out by pro-Ukrainian Russian operatives? And if so, how do they get explosives? And, what's the process here? So we know that Operation Spiderweb and subsequent attacks on, say, the Crimean Bridge and a number of different missions that have taken place. We've heard the Ukrainians and Malyuk talk up that the Ukrainians have things up their sleeves, that there are a number of these different sort of operations that they could do. Are you going to see a number of operations that look similar to this? What effect will this and others like it, if there are going to be others, have on the psyche of Russians if they know that there's this kind of quite widespread infiltration? But yeah, just a significant, I think, moment there to show that the Ukrainians have the ability to hurt Russia quite deep into Russia. And we already know that car bombs, for example, explode. There are these rumors that I talked about this morning of an FSB general, I think as a result of an explosive, being hospitalized and in an induced coma in Moscow. So, we know Ukrainians can get operatives or operatives who are sympathetic to them to operate in key places like the capital, Moscow. So maybe it's not all that surprising they could do something like this. But anyway, I thought it was worthy of note. Let me know what you think of this kind of operation. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.